Emergency relief grants show satisfactory results. And non-so food aid program targets child-headed households.
City Police spokesperson Fabian Amukulele was granted bail of 7,000 Namibia dollars in the Windhoek Mega Street Court in Karutura. Amukulele was arrested at the beginning of April on charges of rape.
Oh my God, God is good. God is good. God is good. Oh my God. Thank you, Lord. Thank you, Lord.
A sigh of relief outside the courtroom for the relatives of the accused Sergeant Fabian Amukulele as the magistrate delivered her judgment on the bail application. Amukulele walked free for now as the magistrate granted him bail with conditions that the applicant has to abide by, such as not contacting the complainant, keeping a 100-meter distance from her home and workplace, as well as prohibition from interfering with the ongoing investigations. His relatives and friends were overjoyed by the magistrate's decision, thanking God for his release.
Now I'm definitely feeling, the feeling is really good. Been stressing a bit lately. We said earlier that we don't want to interfere with whatever happened between the two. That's their business. We are here as a family. We just want to support him. Even with the condition that is granted, we want him to honor it until the day of judgment. We are here just to support and make sure that the bill is made financially. So we are definitely happy that he's coming home.
No, we are definitely relieved. It has been a long time coming, so we are excited, even though we are not crying or anything, but we are just glad that the court was able to pronounce themselves, and eventually my long-term friend is coming home today. It's a good relief, and hopefully with all the conditions attached, we'll be able to comply, and eventually we'll wait for the judgment day.
The magistrate made it clear that the charges against the accused are serious and the trauma that the complainant is experiencing is a real concern that the court cannot ignore. She also said the court has a duty to render protection to complainants of sexual offences. However, she said that an accused person cannot be kept in detention pending his trial as a form of punishment, as he is still presumed innocent until his guilt has been established in court. The state prosecutor informed the court that the results of the DNA test would only be available in August this year.
Hello and welcome to today's episode of 700 Club Nigeria. Today on 700 Club Nigeria, a woman encounters inexplicable pain after the delivery of her baby. An interesting chat with the Israeli ambassador to Nigeria. Plus, we learn about the power within our spoken word.
My portion in the land of the living, help me sing. As for me and my house, we will serve.
The Ministry of Finance revealed that since the start of applications for the income grants, the ministry has paid out over 400,000 to more than 500,000 Namibians. According to the ministry, the majority of the remaining applicants who have not received their grants were rejected on the basis of names not matching those in the records of the Ministry of Home Affairs and those appearing on the taxpayers' register. A day before the due date of the reapplication, members of the public gathered at the ministry's head office with queries on the failure of their applications.
Since we are rejected, for some of us people are unemployed. We have been unemployed now for a long period, which is 4 to 5 years. Now this rejecting is the system. We didn't come to cancel our income tax, or is it that the system is still being processed for us to get the money or not? So that is my question. Are we still going to get the money that us that are rejected?
Do my business. Now my business was damaged by these coronavirus issues. And now I'm just unemployed. And I'm not a taxpayer. And I haven't received any message. The only message that I received is that just wait, you have already applied. But until when now? Personally, I applied on the first Sunday when they issued the application of this grant. Still now, even the people that have applied after me, they have received their grant, but what I'm receiving in my phone is just that you have already applied. That's what I'm wondering, until when are we going to wait for this? And actually, as comparing to the previous days, they were paying out. We saw a long queues at the banks, but currently now, it's just quiet. Maybe we are just hearing one person by one that are getting paid per day.
Response they are telling me is my ID or my name is wrong. I don't know. But on the other instance is for all these weeks, we are just waiting for them and they are telling us to wait. Today we are here again. So I don't know what these guys are actually planning to do about this. There's nothing which they are doing. It's just waiting until we come here, find us here at the office today. So my question is, what is the minister doing with this? They are just showcasing their lives there at COVID-19 offices, showing themselves they are Minister of Finance and what, but they are doing zero to our lives. I'm coming all the way from informal settlement Achterland to here in town just to get 750. Is it right like that? Why is the minister there?
The ministry spokesperson has called on applicants whose applications were rejected on the basis of tax to remain patient as the ministry is busy with a data reconciliation process to verify the list of applicants. Once finalized, applicants will be informed of the status of their applications.
Problems comes when people lose their jobs or are no longer receiving taxable salaries. They just move on and they do not come to the receiver of revenue to indicate that they are no longer receiving a taxable salary. So, and in that process, their tax number remains as active taxpayers. So we are now trying to run the data with comparing with the Social Security Commission to determine whether these people are still employed or not. The process, of course, has its legal processes that has to be followed. But what we are saying is that applicants should give us time. We are working around the clock to finalize this matter, and hopefully early next week we will be able to inform them on the status of the application.
Dudu adds that although a lengthy process, verification will ensure that there are no fraudulent applications, as the ministry has received complaints from members of the public of their IDs being used without their consent. The verification process has been extended to the 15th of May 2020.
Let's talk about the coronavirus outbreak here in Africa. How do you get people to regularly wash their hands when water is scarce? How do you get people to work from home when majority of Africans work in the informal sector?
People are dying and suffering.
More importantly, how do you get a vibrant and dynamic continent to stop in its tracks? Welcome to The Breakdown, BBC Africa's COVID-19 special program, helping you make sense of the crisis.
Namibia National Students Organization NANSO launched the NANSO Food Aid Program. The program will focus on assisting destitute students and learners that are currently affected by the COVID-19 pandemic and are heading their households. NANSO is also planning on distributing aid across the whole country in regions with higher learning institutions. The Nanso Food Aid Program will be assisting child-headed households and international students who could not travel back to their respective countries due to the COVID-19 travel restrictions put in place by the head of state.
So we have mobilized the business community to come together, as well as members of our branches, to come together so that we can put together resources and be able to procure these items that we hope to distribute to those learners from child-headed households. We've got a quite number of them who are heading households. There are no parents or guardians at home, and they might have been overlooked by other programs that are there through either by government or by other NGOs, because most of them are focusing on households and they might have neglected the child-headed households. We are also in the same vein donating to students, international students who could not fly back to their countries of origin based on they couldn't afford the tickets. Also, the borders are closed, and they are here in the hostels, and they are suffering with food items. So we're also going to donate to that segment of students. The other segment of students are as well as our students who particularly some of them are renting, some of them are also in the hostels, and also might be unable to afford food items. So recognizing the effects that this pandemic has had on the students, we've then decided to come up with this program to assist our students in these trying times.
The program is therefore kicking off in the Commerce region with the most higher learning institutions.
This program then we are kicking it off here in the Commerce region. We aim then to do it next in the coastal region as well as the south and the north, and then also in the east, which is the Omaheke region. This is now to ensure that all the students, the destitute students, as well as learners, are not left out. Of course, we can't be able to reach each and every student, noting that we do not have the resources that we wanted to have to be able to assist everybody. So that's why we wanted to ensure that there is no double dipping. Of course, we are not going to give to households where there is a guardian, because we assume they might have gotten some sort of assistance. Or we're also not assisting the youth that have benefited from the economic relief packages that have been offered by the Ministry of Finance. But because you must understand that our students have been left out. Out of all this, the Ministry of Poverty and Education does not recognize child-headed households as a household. So that's why we decided, okay, I think we must cater for our own constituency, which have been left out in much of the programs that are there. Unfortunately, as I'm saying, the resources that we have are limited, so we are not doing regions, but we are doing the coast, we're doing the south, we are doing the north, and then Omaheke, because where there is an influx of institutions of higher learning.
Currently, almost 300 students were identified as beneficiaries in the Commerce region. The food parcels will be distributed on Saturday to the various households.
From Cape to Cairo, Accra to Antananarivo, there are millions of people just like you trying to make a living to make money. And there's no magic way to get rich quick, unless you're Aliko Dangote. You're not Aliko Dangote, are you? No? Well, perhaps we can help you get a little further along the way. With BBC reporters all over Africa, we find the stories, the successes, and the startups that will help you make the most of your money. This is Smart Money.
In other leading stories, Obeth Kanjode, Director General of the National Planning Commission of the Republic of Namibia, and Alan Golds, Charge d'Affaires ad interim of the Federal Republic of Germany, signed agreements on financial grant and technical cooperation following the 2019 governmental negotiations on development cooperation between Germany and Namibia. These two binding agreements cover programs to the value of roughly 700 million Namibia dollars, addressing challenges for sustainable and inclusive development in Namibia, with focus on governance, climate change, biodiversity, agriculture, food security and urban development. Germany will provide 9 million euros to continue technical cooperation with the Ministry of Environment, Forestry and Tourism, implemented by GIZ. The new project, Climate Change and Inclusive Use of Natural Resources, is aimed at fostering income generation and employment creation through the sustainable use of natural resources and at promoting alternative livelihoods in conservancies. An additional 5 million euros in grants will be provided to the UNAM Department of Wildlife Management and Ecotourism. The goal is to develop study programs and research capacities to meet the growing demand on specialists in the sector. And Old Mutual Namibia has delivered food parcels to the value of over 94,000 Namibia dollars that will benefit 160 individuals in the vulnerable communities of Keetmanshoop, Karasburg, Roshpina, Koses and Quiz. The handover took place at the Keetmanshoop State Hospital in the Karas region. To honor its commitment of 5 million Namibia dollars towards restraining the spread and impact of the COVID-19 pandemic in the country, Old Mutual has set strategic measures in place to assist communities in need of food and nutritional support. The food parcels that were delivered in the Klaras region serves as the third regional rollout by Old Mutual after Commerce and Irango. The first consignment of frozen and dried food as well as necessities was delivered in the Commerce region on the 8th of April 2020 with a value of over 200,000 Namibia dollars. The second delivery to the value of over 136,000 Namibia dollars was handed over on the 30th of April 2020 in Omaruru and Spitskoppe in the Irango region, respectively.
Welcome to Comments Corner, your daily dose of comments from the hottest social media pages. Rape-accused Fabian Amkwelele, spokesperson for the Windhoek City Police, has been granted bail of 7,000 Namibian dollars. Peter said he is one of the hard-working officers and hopes he will be allowed back at work. Michael said hopefully he would get a chance to clear his name. Mendiapo said she has a feeling that he is innocent. Montana said the community needs him back for the positive determination he has shown through his work. Kambusha hopes that Amkwelele is not alone during this battle. Alayandra wished Amkwelele strength. And that is all from Comments Corner. Be sure to post your comments on our social media pages for broadcast every day only on Today on One.
Hello and welcome to Sport Africa.
The BBC's new weekly show will explore the big sporting issues and questions, like why Africans aren't winning medals in the pool.
I just think it's their mindset.
Meeting established and rising stars.
I could be the Nigerian first Grand Slam winner.
And at the heart of it will be you, the fans, with your passion, your opinions, your stories, and even tests of your sporting knowledge. Go beyond the game with BBC Sport Africa.
sing. We got something to say. The Rags Kids Club Band, can you come out to play? Razzles makes us dazzle, she's our go-to girl. Fido keeps a beat while he catches a curl. B-Max writes the tunes and Rags and Trilby sing. So come along and sing your song, it's a happening thing. Pause up, everybody, take it to our day. The Rags Kids Club Band is coming down your way. You got a song to sing, we got something to say. The Rags Kids Club Band, can you come out to play?
A look at the weather forecast. First, an advisory from the Windhoek Met Office. East wind conditions will persist over the coastal regions this weekend. The Namibia interior partly cloudy and hot in the north, elsewhere sunny and warm to hot. The coast partly cloudy and hot to very hot with sandstorms at times. The wind moderate to fresh easterly. Now a look at minimum and maximum temperatures across the country and beyond.